Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dorothy DeLay MasterClass series. I'm Dmitri Berlinsky, professor of violin here at the College of Music at Michigan State University. And it's a real joy for me to welcome a wonderful violinist, very good friend, longtime friend, Vadim Gluzman, who is joining us today. And Vadim is a distinguished artist in residence at the Peabody Conservatory, and he's a world-class concert violinist traveling all over the world. And I'm really, really thrilled to have Vadim join us here today. Please welcome Vadim. There'll be two groups performing for Vadim. First group is going to perform Sonata by Debussy, and it's going to be played by Yunmiao Li and Minggu Yao. Please welcome our first group of performers.
Let me stop it here. Beautiful. I'm just afraid that I will forget. So we will do some work on the first movement and then move to the next one. Many wonderful things. What I would try to look for, first of all, is range. I mean range of colors, range of intensity, and even as simple as dynamic range. I'm afraid what you're doing is very musical, actually. It is just on a very small scale. I would like you to have broader shoulders, bigger lungs. I need everything to be more vivid, in a way. Maybe even without, I will argue maybe about some choices that you make, but I don't think they're significant, my arguments. What I would like to do is take a magnifying glass and put it in front of you. Yeah, I would like to simply enlarge what's there. Then we will, because a lot of what I heard, I had to guess. Yeah, I had to guess what is it that you are saying. So before I start saying I don't like it, or I do like it, I would like to know exactly what are you doing. Yeah? So let's start at the beginning. And I normally don't mingle into bowings or fingerings. I will only suggest one fingering, and that is to reconsider harmonic here. In general, I think what you did in the beginning was a little bit inconsistent. You vibrated certain notes, you did not vibrate others. It created a little bit of a limping phrase. When we have two notes, one vibrated, one not clearly not vibrated at all, they become very different. Yeah, and to my ears, vibrated note is almost always heavier. So what I heard was no vibrato, vibrato, no vibrato, no vibrato. Yeah, and we are having this effect then. I would love to hear one continuous line. So what I would try to say is 4, 2, 1, and then 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. Yeah, just and this way you could give a little bit of warmth to the first note. You don't have to torture yourself now. We don't do this in public. Just consider. Now play your fingers. Let's start. Wonderful. I already heard. Well, of course, you are starting without a vibrato, but then the very next note is so much vibrated, and then the next one is not at all. Can we try to make it a little bit more consistent? Yeah, and then tell me, is it ti do do ti do tam, or is it do do ti dum fam? No, I gave you choice.
I love the second. I love the second one.
You wanted the second. If that's the case, I'm not even going to tell you what I think. If that's the case, we have to make it clear direction towards that last harmony. Yeah. In this case, what I'm asking you to do is even more important. Let's try. Let's move the bow right away. Yes. Wonderful. What's the dynamic? What is the dynamic now?
Still at piano.
It is still piano. I would try to. For me, when we talk about French music of early 20th century, be it late Romantic or impressionistic, the direction of the phrase is above momentary pleasures of playing on G string. Yeah, we love playing on G string. Yeah, I'm also a violinist. Right? Yeah, it all comes from one piece, Zigeunerweise. Yeah, we remember how good it feels to start that on G string. And every time we come to G string, there is this instinct of going into the, I don't think it's appropriate. Yeah, we have this, which is the indication of the phrase. He is telling you to go to the middle of the bar. I don't think this is so much a direction to play loud. It's only direction to play. Let's take it immediately from and one. We're here. Sorry, I'm now my micromanagement. But if you look at the way he's shaping the phrase, he's not making G the top of the phrase. It's not la ga da ga di da dum. It's la ga da da ya da dum. G is past the top of the phrase, and then it becomes a longer phrase. If you overcook the downbeat, it becomes a square. La ga da da ti da dum. La da 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 ya da dum. Let's do it again from la da 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 di da dum. Right here, he says "en serrant," right? What does it mean?
Going forward.
Say again?
Going
Going
forward.
forward. In physical reality, yes, but it means constricted. It means that the time becomes tight. Yeah? Yes, of course, it will. If you take me to court, you will win. Yeah, because you will need to play faster. But I think it has to do with character. Yeah, maybe even more poignant than with playing faster. Yeah, let's try this. I would look for it in the intensity of sound. Yeah, maybe try to look for a hair closer to the bridge, and a hair more intense connection between the hair and the string. Yeah, let's go from do re mi fa do re sol sol do mi and make sure it is big piano, so you have a bigger range than to cover. Wonderful, wonderful. You did not, because you were busy looking for a more intense sound, you didn't push the tempo so much, which I like. It was not so drastic. I do think again it creates a longer line. Now, when we arrive in fourth, open your right hand. Yeah, make sure that you are moving the bow. Otherwise it becomes still pressed, and he says a tempo. So we have to be better, which is again I think is not just an indication of tempo. It's a matter of character. Yeah. Can we take it from Anseran? And open. Don't push, don't touch. Don't push the tempo. And now let me be violinist for a second. On scale 1 to 10, how uncomfortable are you?
Very uncomfortable. Really, 7.
7. So pretty uncomfortable. Think papa papa pira papa papa pira papa papa as trick yourself into thinking that this is your physical initiative comes from this first abbo. Those of us who have played Glazunov concerto, have you played it?
No.
But you know the famous place. Pa-pa-para, pa-pa-para. If you give it, it's very similar situation. If you give physical impact on the up bow rather than on a down bow, yeah, it's not going to become easy, but it will be easier, which is already a progress. Let's start right there, the bar 30. And think of giving a little bit of a on the. No, you are already hitting the down bow, which means you're spending too much bow and you're running yourself into a corner. You're too high, and then it's a struggle for you to come back. Caress the first. Don't hit it. Yes. Very good. Now listen. Did it feel better? Yeah? Now same thing, holding your bow 4.5% stronger. Not 5% stronger, 4.5% stronger. Just a little bit more resistance between fingers and the stick. Just a little bit. Try it again. Wonderful. Wonderful. Better? Yeah, combine both, you will be on more stable ground. Yeah? Just following this. We all play like this. What does he actually say? He says you change the bow, you don't change the bow, it's of no consequence. Should be of no consequence. Ideally, I don't see a reason to change the bow here. But if you do, which is absolutely fine, it gives you a little bit more air. Yeah? It doesn't mean that you should change the bow speed. Less. And then, if you actually go with what he says, you go away, go even further away, then this becomes a real shock. Yeah, don't prepare. If anything, the opposite. Mi, si, re, sol, la, mi, sol, re, mi, fa, sol, si, mi, si, re, sol, la, mi, sol. And here's now. Much bigger range of intensity. I think you're using a very, in this case it's not a compliment, consistent bow weight and bow speed. Yeah, your placement on the string is rather, it's wonderful for security, but I'm afraid it does not give you quite enough. And I can see that you want to do it. Yeah, you are either afraid or afraid. I'm quite sure you are. One other thing. Please make sure that you are playing C sharp. Yeah, that's the difference. The difference. We're all often neglecting this. Let's take it from so re fa do re sol, so re fa do re sol. As you are growing towards the forte, make sure that you are controlling and conscious about the placement of the bow. I would move a little bit closer to the bridge. Yeah, of course, within reason, not to scratch and not to produce ugly sound, which I'm sure you want. But make sure that you are giving me more intensity in the bow. Maybe a little bit more precise articulation. Yeah? Let's try from bottom. That was very, very good. Very good. You use the slower bow and a heavier bow as you approach the top. Yeah. Try to look for the opportunities like this as you go through the movement. I think these moments will create the atmosphere that you are using so well, except you are not giving me the other end of the spectrum, and then I lose the sight of the atmosphere. Yeah, if you don't give me sun, I will never know it's dark. Yeah, only when I see the sun will I realize we're in darkness, and vice versa. Can we go to please meno mosso, and all of this segment when we change. This is 4 sharps, bar number 84, I believe. Everything changes. Yeah, the harmonical essence is different. He's asking you to play rubato. It is completely different story. It does not mean that you should hide. Yes, he's telling you to play sublatush. Again, it does not mean to play without sound. Yeah, I often ask my students, what does it mean to play piano? Piano is playing forte softly. Yeah, I still need presence. Yeah, no matter what you want to do. You weren't quite secure. You didn't know how many count. Let's go with 4 sharps. Same thing. You have to play into that left further corner. Your sound has to travel there. I love the quality of the sound. I'm just sorry that it stays here. I think we should share it with others. For 4 bars, play by memory. You know the notes. Please. Wait. Now go. Good. What did you change? What was different now?
I think my mindset is different.
Your mindset, brilliant. Yes. I did think you used now too much bow. You maybe overcompensated, but in essence, that's what I would try to do. You have beautiful color, but you're keeping it to yourself. Yeah, I need it to come out. Okay. Every time we have a tempo change throughout the movement, especially throughout this segment, I don't think we need to stand there with a announcement. I've changed the tempo, or I'm going to change the tempo. I think again the changing of the tempo is a matter of character, and not so much of a speed. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
So I would try to find more of a suave shaping of changing. It was to my ear too obvious. I would try to make sure that every time you come back to higher note, that it appears and not begins. Yeah, there was a very clear ti pa. Yeah, I would love it for them to just realize that this note has come back. Can we take it please from this is bar 133, and I want you to consider this. We have ritenuto to a tempo. What does this mean? What tempo is that?
It's here.
Absolutely, it's the meno. It's poco meno. What happened here is actually more maybe for you. This a tempo is not exactly what you wrote here. It's not as fast as tempo primo. Then tempo primo has to move with your help. Your quintuplet has to be rather active in left hand, not in the right. Can we try please from 133? Yeah, you start 4 bars before that. The poco meno. Yeah, and don't be shy with that. That really could sit. Even quieter, not slower. slower per se, but quieter inside. Yes. So you are trying to give me a rubato. Yeah? It's interesting that your idea of rubato is speeding up. How just for you are not original. We all do the same thing. We're told to, or we think playing rubato, and we immediately run. Try to actually take time. Yeah. Rather than da 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 da. Let's try it. That was beautiful. Thank you. Locomotive. You have the smaller denominations. I thought this was beautiful. Now let's do the same thing, playing for them, not being totally egoistic. Let's give them the music. Once again, the same place, please. The middle ground. That was now too fast, but that's the direction where I would go. Yeah, following the same idea as we did before, and then again the same. Now, what I would love to find is a way for this a mouvement and then following stretto to have one line. You had, if you drive a car, I mean, I can imagine you do. Have you driven a stick shift? When you can change gears? But you know it exists. There were at least 2 gears changed. I would love to have one, meaning drive automatic car here. Yeah, so it is very, very smooth. I felt this was much too sudden. Yeah. Can we take it maybe from a moment retenu? This is 204.
From here?
Oh, you don't have bar numbers.
No.
No, this is further down the line. It's piano before the scazzante. What's the bar number? 204. Here.
Okay.
Yeah?
The second one, right?
You're low. If you were to follow what he says, you would see this. This is not your high, the high point of the phrase. I don't think it is yeah, he's telling you to go away. I would listen. Try. wonderful. For my, and this is, you like tomatoes, I like potatoes. I feel this is much too much of a rhythm too. It has a finality to it. Yeah, I'm almost expecting the movement to end. Yeah, I would prepare it maybe a little bit less. I need constant feeling of direction. Otherwise, the music stops. We stop the heartbeat. Can we do this again, please? Very good. In terms of tempo, I thought this was much more, much smoother. Can we make sure that we're becoming much more intense now? I would suggest maybe not using so much more. Yeah, the more intense you get, I would make the bow a little bit more compact, a little bit more grounding. Yeah, a little bit more control here. Can we take it from un moment? Much better. Okay, let's go to the next one. Otherwise, we'll never get it. Beautiful. wishes for the first movement are remaining the same. I'm yearning to get more vividness out of you. Yeah, I would like to everything to be more clear. It often reminds me of drama actors. Yeah, if you listen to them speak from stage, if you are close to them, everything sounds exaggerated. Yeah, pronounced. I need a little bit of this in your playing, in order for your message to cross the threshold of the stage. No matter it's where we don't actually have a stage, but there is a distance that physically sound needs to travel, and every idea of yours needs to be carried from to. I do think we need to play with a certain feeling of exaggeration. Yeah, what you feel is enough here in your immediate vicinity. It truly is not the case, even 3.5 meters away. And say we were in a larger room. Yeah, then it changes even more. Yeah. Let's start from beginning. I would love to understand that these 4 bars until your quasi-cadenza is one thought. Yeah, right now I heard the first bar, then there was a panic in the second bar, and then finally we arrived in the G string and played louder. I would like it to be connected. Yeah, make sure that you move the bow on the bow faster, finger slower. That's basically what we'll say today. Right? Yeah, please, and make sure we have enough of it. Ay-yam, ay-yam, ay-yam. Very good. Now the same thing without bowing is very good. Bring your bow to the G string, helping with your elbow. Of course, you're playing with shoulder rest. It's more difficult for you than for some other people. Your G string is higher, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Yeah, make sure that your elbow is propelling the bow to the down, to the lower string. Once again. Don't rush. The last of the passage, you're just panicking to get to the last note. In my book, it's better to be late than early. Certainly in music. Go. Once again. I would like to hear that there is a continuity. Yes, you changed the bow, but that's irrelevant. That's one thought. Do not stop. Last time. Forte from the beginning. It's otherwise it becomes a pickup. Da dim da da. We think it's and 1 and 2. It's 1 and 2 and. Moving on is quite the same idea. I would like to understand how do you want to distribute your intensity in the first sentence and second sentence. Is second sentence developing from the first? Is second sentence a kind of a afterthought? Is it a echo? Is it more intense? What's your intention?
From my playing was not that clear, but
It was not. That's why I'm asking.
I think second time should be a reflection.
A reflection. Very good. In this case, I would suggest that we go even more.
For the first time.
Yeah. Good. I don't want to spend too much time on this. In general, we need to be very, very mindful of the tempo choice. every time we come back to, there is a tradition to play this section considerably faster. You are not playing it considerably faster, you're just playing it faster, a little bit. And I would love to hold on to the same heartbeat. Yeah, it is the reason why we play it faster is because it's easier, of course. Yeah, we're violinists here, we know. I would love to have this suspended in the air character, which is impossible, I believe, if we play it too fast. It becomes virtuosic. And I really don't think this is virtuoso music. Actually, not at all. Can we take it maybe from this is bar 13? Yeah. Think of the tempo you want to start. It's quite a bit slower than what you were playing before. Go. Go. No, I need more. Show me the direction of phrase, not by speeding up, but by intensifying. Yeah, there is it's a bit of a meditation. It is repeated note. Yeah, you're in a way obsessed with this idea. Try it again. 3 and. How does this feel?
Feel a little bit slow to me, but it's hard to keep the continuation to keep the.
It's more difficult. It is more difficult. What I suggest here, I do think that you are using a little narrow bow for my taste. I would give it a little bit more chicks. Maybe a little more, actually a little more bow, not so vertical. And as you're playing it, use the melodic line to create the shape. Now, this is very important. We're going from pianissimo to piano. Very often, you know what happens here traditionally. Subito. Yeah, it is really wrong. Yeah, it's something we do by default. Yeah, the computers come with this chip. Yeah, crescendo in piano means playing louder, then suddenly softer. It's really not the case. Yeah, it's crescendo from pianissimo to piano. Let's go from a moment, bar 19. A little more brush, just a little. Don't rush. 1, 2, 3. Now, if we maintain that character for these 8 bars or whatever, however many these are, then this, then this jazzy interlude will really take an effect. I believe. Otherwise, it becomes an unrecognizable line, unrecognizable in terms of character. Yeah, I do think this is helpful. Now, please disregard. Yes, you will never play pizzicato too loud. I promise. Can we start it from your left hand solo? Your pizzicato and play. I'm standing 1 meter 20 centimeters from you, and I can't hear you. Play further once again, and let's not push the tempo. going to do it? I would start from the string and move the bow. Yapam. Yes. Yeah, very good. I had a teacher once who taught me to play pizzicato left hand by screaming, "Pluck harder! Pluck harder!" Now I'm going to do the same to you. Please pluck harder. Same place, please. Don't rush, please. Ra-pa-pa-pa. Good. Every note. Even when we are not sure, we have to pretend that we are sure. Yeah, it's called performing arts. I needed to be clear that now it is also yours. You were secondary for quite a while. Now you're saying di pa 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 pa. Even though it is pianissimo, the articulation changes. Yeah, if only because you're going from pizzicato to arco. Can we start right there? Once again. And it's C sharp, not D sharp. Pa pa pa. Good. And now another consideration. He changes the articulation dramatically. Yeah? I think we need to acknowledge that. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being micromanaging, but I do think this is important. We are coming home, but we are coming home with a changed people. Yeah, you've went through whatever you went through. Your vision is different now. It's no longer pianissimo. Your articulation is clearly broader. Yeah, a little bit more present, even more cheeks. Can we try? I don't know, 2 bars before that. A little more present. Very good. A little bit more present. A little bit more vocal. Straight there. This is something, a moment that really needs attention. We have layers of characters here. Yeah, we have scherzando here. Rapapir, papapira. I would love to hear a little bit more of rapapir, papapira, papapira, papapa, just a little bit more sparkle. And for you, it is expressive. Yeah, yes, but piano that needs to have a presence. You're automatically, when you see letter P, you take the bow away from the string. It's only, piano is sunset, it's blue, it's whatever you, it's a character, it's a color, but it's not playing without sound. That's certainly what it's not. Good. Can we take it 4 bars before this? 4? I would milk it much more. I would start earlier. I would slide slower. I think this is what would make it espressivo. Can we start that bar immediately? Now crescendo. Partner does in this bar. Can we play it for us? Where are we? Let's start from here. All you do, you're actually reading what's written in the music. He is bringing you to the next bar. Yeah, there is no indication of holding back. If anything, he is preparing. One crescendo with direction forward. Can we take bar before that? Exactly what you played now. And now open. Good. Now multiply by 7.5 and we will be there. What I need for you to think about, and this is very often something that we neglect when we play with the piano, especially when we're in unison or in octave, a pure interval situation, is blend of sound. Yeah, there is one thing that pianists, more than one, that the piano as an instrument cannot do. What is it? That's one, absolutely right. Yeah, sustaining of sound. What else? They can't vibrate. Yeah, and for us to use excessive vibrato, and yours is very tasteful. You have a very beautiful, warm, natural vibrato. I don't have anything to complain. But when we use it to such extent in the situation of a unison, the intonation immediately is questionable, not because you're playing out of tune. Yeah, simply because your sound is so different than what is produced by the piano. I would give more attention to the expressivity of the right hand rather than immediately shake. It's natural for us to do it. It's normal. Especially in a melodic situation like this. But we have to consider the reality. Yeah? I'm shown that we have to stop. Beautiful. Just give more.
Yeah, thank
Bravo.
you.
Thank you for the wonderful session. Didn't even touch your violin, but it was such a descriptive.
I already touched it.
Hopefully you'll have a chance to open maybe, just to show. So we have a second group performing Schubert Last Moment from the piano trio number 2. We're going to welcome Chang Li, piano, Yu Xin, violin, and Minzhang Chang, cello. Thank you.
consistency of choices. Meaning, in music of this person, there is so much information that he gives in the way that he describes his music, in the way that he writes in articulation. And for me, majority of character choices will come through articulation. Of course, there is volume, but this is not Gustav Mahler or Richard Strauss, where there will be a sweep of energy. Here we speak through differentiation between an accent, a sforzando, a momentary diminuendo, things like this. They actually make a difference. You often sometimes disregard, you often unify them. Let's say, I often felt that there was no difference between a accent, for example, and sforzando. And I think these are two dramatically different gestures. Let's maybe establish what is an accent first of all. Any theories?
Just have a bite at the beginning of the note.
Okay, you are describing to me how.
Okay.
Yeah, I always try to encourage students to think first of all what. Yeah, we put horse in front of the carriage. First we need to know where we go, and then we say, well, first left, then right, and etc.
But for Schubert, I feel maybe different composers, they have a different
Absolutely.
taste
Yeah.
of the accent.
So how do you feel?
And I feel this classical period is more elegant style of the accent.
Wonderful.
Maybe not
Yeah.
not too harsh.
Wonderful. I'm with you. I agree. And yet I need you to consider something else. Look at this sign. Does it remind you of anything? What does accent look like?
The here. So it means they have crescendo at the
Accent is a very quick diminuendo.
quick.
Yeah, in music of certainly for Mozart and for Schubert. Haydn certainly. Beethoven's late Beethoven starts to be different, but essentially, even in Brahms, accent is a decrescendo, a diminuendo. Yeah, and meaning accent is not an emphasis. Accent is a release of energy. Yeah, so if we were to draw some kind of a graph, how it looks like, it will not be like this. It will be like this. There still will be an element of emphasis only because of the quickness of release. So it will not be ta, it will be ta. This is the first that I would need you to think, because there are many accents. Yeah, and I do think they're quite meaningful, but they quite often when you play them, they become emphatic. They become mighty. And I don't think what you described now, elegance and not so aggressive, that did not happen. Only because of I think it's just a matter of attitude. Yeah, of your expectation. What is it that you are expecting to hear? So, as a general comment, when we see accent, let's maybe try to avoid immediate assault. Yeah, we will occupy Poland a little later. Let's take it from the beginning of the movement. And immediately a question: is it rapapatim, or is it yapapatim?
I think the first one.
That's how you play, and I believe it takes away from elegance. When we overcook down beats, I think it becomes too explicit. I would phrase off in this case. maybe just a little bit closer the grace note. Tra-ta-ta. Almost to an extent of double stop. Almost. Good. Try not to feel pressure to move. Don't push the tempo forward. Consider that you will be in trouble later on. Which you do brilliantly, but make sure that you are not pushing yourself too far. In my modus operandi, I'm yet to hear too much cello. Yeah, so don't hide yourself. I would love you to try and match the articulation that comes from the piano, for a simple reason that we are, as an instrument, violin, is more flexible in terms of articulation. There is more variety that we can physically produce. I would like to hear. On top of it, I do think that this articulation is more appropriate here. Yeah. Can we take it from just 4 bars before it gets played? Bar 12. Pick up to 13. Can we try and phrase it the same way we did it at the beginning? Little heavier on the upbeat. Yes, and maybe phrase with the bow rather than with the left hand. We have longer hairpins, yeah, and then we have a short accent. Essentially, they are the same gesture. Just it takes different amount of time. La da 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 dee. I would not say dee da 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 dee. Da 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 dee. Da da da. Do not neglect it. I think the phrasing actually is, if you only follow what he writes, I think the phrasing is there for you. Can we take your pick up to 21, 2, 3, 4? Sorry, I'm nitpicking. This is very string-like behavior. Down bow means heavy note. Not at all. The top of the phrase is C. Good. Same place, please. Finally, we come to emphatic gestures. Yeah, ra-pa-pa-pa-pa, bing, pam, pam. Come out wherever you are. Letter A, please. Very good. This is much better. Bravo. Schubert when I play Schubert. I'm always looking for this childlike naivety, yeah, which has sophistication of a wise old man, but the essence is very naive. So this exuberant see, as if you can't contain yourself, only to find this terrible drama. So don't rush into it. Yeah, bring our attention. Wonderful before. Let's go from fortissimo, do mi sol fa la do, bar 40.
40.
I would emphasize a little bit more the change of harmony in 41 to 3, 4, 5. In 45, when you play subito piano, it's up to you when the clock ticks. Yeah, the time is in your hands. You are the master of the universe. Whenever you say, that's when it happens. I would not rush into it. I think this is a very poignant moment. It's a kind of a turning moment. Yeah, I wouldn't rush into it. Let's go to Listesso. Let's take maybe same place, bar 66, and go into the next segment. Sorry, I have to make it work hard. 66. Good. Can we play this as quarter notes actually? Yeah, you're playing ultra staccatissimo 16th. Da 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 tim pom 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 di pom.
Same thing.
Now. Good. How many times this motif is going to come back in this movement?
A million times.
A million times. I don't remember now. I think it was 70, but I might be wrong. This is kind of a melody or music that never begins and never ends. I would not like to hear la ga da ga di ga da ga. Imagine that somebody opens a window and it just appears in your room. It hasn't started, it hasn't finished, it's been always there. It just at this moment you happen to notice it. So technically speaking, maybe don't throw the ball on the string. No, make sure that your fingers are controlling the stick. Let's take la pa 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 pim pam pam. Let's connect this.
68.
Wonderful, beautiful. Can we just hear the harmony? Please start with this tempo. Yeah, the first two bars are eventless. Yeah, and many. This is another topic for conversation in general in Schubert. Is making decisions, phrasing decisions based on harmonical tension. Yeah, and meaning we emphasize tension and we stay away from release of the tension, from resolution, for example. I think it is what you do. It's very beautiful. You have a beautiful tone. You are musical, but you do too much at the beginning, and then when it comes to really important moment, it is hidden because you took my ear away. Yeah, you fooled me to a different. You took my attention away. So let's start from C minor. And you are not creating anything. You're just restating C minor, C minor, C minor, C minor, and then we have tension that deserves intensity. Let's go. Good. Tell me why. If anything, I think I would think of this legato bar as a release. You're going back to home tonality, which means a release of energy. It does not mean an emphasis. Let's try it again. Now, and we come to the next phrasing corner, which is fortepiano. I missed almost all of them. For me, fortepiano, and maybe I am wrong, I haven't exchanged any Facebook messages with Schubert today, but I think this is the most dramatic of them all. I think it's even more dramatic than Sforzando, simply because of the range of the dynamic difference. I think it deserves much more attention, much more fall, so to speak, from forte to piano. To me, this is really not enough. Can we take second time? And much more, simply louder, please. At least, don't be shy. Otherwise, it becomes passé. It has no presence. Once again.
Same thing.
Consider this is there are two ways of playing it. Certainly, what you do is legitimate. Playing it at the tip, it's much safer. But I think it is quite a bit too heavy as a result. Yeah, I would at least give it a chance. I'm not going to torture you in public, but consider playing it off the string, middle to the between middle and the frog, lighter, more elegant. It becomes a little bit too, for lack of a better word, too Germanic. Ta 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 ta. I think it's not elegant enough. And then again, fortepiano, you guys together in bar 104. You're neglecting it. I think it's a pity. Can we take your second time? Bar 97. Bravo, beautiful. Do pay attention. It's not all pa-pipa, and then it goes into a longer line. When the material starts going up, so should you. You should go up with it. Beautiful. Let's go on from here. I admire your pearls. Wonderful. My dear soloists, and I don't mean soloists as compliment. I do think we should be mindful Yeah, you do realize that there is 1.5 million notes. Yeah, we need to be, basically your whole hearing apparatus should be directed there. Yeah, you are the support system. Can we start straight there from exactly?
6/8.
6/8.
1, 1, 2,
1,
1 to 1. Right?
121. Double bow. Wonderful. What you did now, I liked quite, and I don't know if this was by design. You stopped marching. You actually created a longer line, which was absolutely wonderful. When you played it the first time, I felt it was much too overly articulated. By doing this, you're pulling the blanket onto yourself, and I don't think it's legitimate here. What I would emphasize the forte pianos. Yeah, this is something you could do. But in between, I would stretch the net as long as I could. Beautiful. Let's do this again. Pay attention to the way he is phrasing. Yeah, it is always to the next bar that becomes he's re-emphasizing the harmony by giving it another chance. I think it's important. What I would try to do is maybe not to give too much in, for example, bar 131. Yeah, save enough for bar 132.
Okay.
And then the same thing, 135, not too much. Yes, it is fortissimo, but we have to realize that we have this gesture the next bar. Tim pa tim ra pa pim pa pa. Okay.
129.
Yes, please. 1 to 9. Can we only hear, starting with letter C, only the 16th notes? I don't want to hear anything else. Just between the two of you guys. I would like to, the reason I'm asking, you can play it under tempo if you wish. I am trying to find a consistency of stroke. Your strokes are quite different. Yeah, I would like it to sound as a common line. So let's start with you, letter C. 1 and. Good. Let's try and not accentuate every beat. 3 and. Good. Can we keep it like this? Yeah. Try it by you feel subconsciously that by accentuating the beats you are going to keep it organized. It's actually the opposite. Yeah, because your idea of organization will be very different from my idea of organization, and hers and his. Yeah. So by saying this, I don't know if you've ever noticed. Sometimes I'm sure you do it. We play and we try to keep pulse. Have you ever noticed how unrhythmical this is? Yeah, it's terrible. So we can't rely on aggression. If we rely on direction of musical phrase, this will keep us much more organized. Yeah, good. Let's take all together. Letter C. Beautiful, wonderful. Couple of things. This is starting in bar 145, when we're going between subito piano, subito forte, subito piano, subito forte. I feel with you how you are trying to keep it in tempo. God forbid you take a breath. Don't feel under pressure. Yeah. Yes, it is quick. It is very demanding, and there are many different voices, and you are passing on one to another. God willing, you will be able to catch it. Fine. But let's not push ourselves into a corner by you're almost rushing. Yeah, I would try to take a back seat. Yeah, can we take it from same place? C. You've repeated so many times. Yeah, he creates this an amazing shock. I would give it a full value. First of all, I would not shorten this note, and if anything, I would exaggerate. Yeah, I think the dramatic effect is very important, and it is up to you again. Yeah, you are again the master of the universe. The moment you are alone, it's all yours. Yeah, I don't think so. No, nobody is going to stand here with. Good. 4 part 4D, please. Let's do it again. It's still in 6. 3 and. I don't want to hear the beginning. Go away. Basically, what I'm trying to find is that, physically speaking, that G is a release of F sharp. That it is not an arrival of F sharp. Not tim tam ta di da da da. Understand? And that when they come in, that becomes a different story. Then we're starting to juggle. Yeah? Good. Let's start from your piano. Very good. Please resist the temptation of making the crescendo too early. You are basically selling out everything that we gained. Yeah, let's do this again. Beautiful before that was very very beautiful. Little more. There is this. I would take even more time. Make it clear the pedal.
Yeah, I can.
la da da dee bom bom, it becomes too aggressive. Yeah, these are only accents. I'm returning to the same idea as we talked about at the beginning. These are releases rather than assaults. Ra da da dee bom, la da da dee bom bom bom. I would also not maybe actually stop the bow. Dee da dee bom 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 bom. And then when it goes to you, I would have an attitude rather of legato. Yeah, since he does not even write accents, well, it's a more of the nature of the instrument is quite a bit different. It will equalize if we are not too aggressive in strings, and you are playing it on a more horizontal plateau, it will equalize the articulation. Let's take it from E fortissimo. 190. Consistence, like I speak with consistently Russian accent. It had a consistent way of speaking. Whether right or wrong, I don't know. But it was more of a you were on the same page. Just where I stopped you, 13, 14, 15, 16. Arrival in 217. Yeah, on the B flat major. Yes. What happens here? We have 5-1. Yeah, harmonically speaking. Tim tam pam. Do we emphasize resolution or we stay away?
I don't know.
We stay away, of course we stay away. Piano has forte piano. We out. Or if you emphasize, then you stand up, take your bow, and leave. That's the only situation when you in music like this when you can emphasize the resolution at the very end. Yeah? Can we take it from forte? This is 214. Now that we know where we are, 1, 2, 3, and. Good. I would love to hear the difference between piano and pianissimo, and then again back ra-ta-ta-ti. Let's take the same place, and here you actually have your sforzanti. Ra-ta-ta-tim, pam, pam, bim, pam, and you are opposing her. Ra-pa-pa-tim, bom, 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 bom. You are creating the. Don't give in to what she's doing. Not at all. You are actually playing completely different music. Can we do the same thing, please? 214. A little bit more or less. Sorry to stop you guys. And we're back to that child. Yeah, child who has all the hopes, but knows they're not coming true. and I would love to be able to breathe, especially when he's giving you the release options. When he gives you this accent, make sure you pay attention, which means for me allowing it time. I'm not talking about slowing down, not at all, but allowing it time, allowing it its value. You're pushing through it, and as a result, you don't have the time to notice. And then pay attention when you are alone. It's ratatati. Pick up to 251. 251.
Yes.
It's not ratatatim. No. It's ratatatim. Do you have you have a dividend there, right?
Yes.
Ratatatim.
Sorry.
Maybe a little more on the second. Yes. No, be careful. Exactly. Good. Let's take everybody together, starting with letter F, 235. Desperate. Yeah, at first it was still hopeful, in maybe far away, but hopeful. Yes. Ladies, I would rethink. I think this is much more important than forte here. I would do something to make the fork on the upboat. Otherwise, you are trying. I can see that you are trying, but there is physical reality. That was so beautiful, really. Right there, this is pick up to 261. Difference is that second movement has dotted rhythm. It's much more intense. Tim pom pom tim pa pom pom tim pa pom. Be very, very careful not to fall into double dotting. Tim tam pom 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 pom. It's much more relaxed. Since we're inside triplets, yeah. It should not become intense rhythmically. Yeah, well, whatever we call it, it is a memory of. It's not in our present. So what I would love to hear is a kind of a relaxation, kind of a spread, rhythmically speaking. If you choose to take a little time here, nobody will blame you. He does does. It's interesting. It does say appassionato here. Yeah, it's quite poignant. Yeah. So again, to do it, time is everything in music. Let's go. Once again.
From
Two bars before this.
Okay.
Yeah, pop, people. Noise kind of around you, I would try to find your quiet place that where nothing can affect you. Yeah, he says sotto voce, you know it will never happen. Yeah, you by this point you've lost all hope. Yeah, you only all you have left is your memory. Yeah, I wouldn't become active. Yeah, passion can be exhibited in so many ways. Yeah, we can be passionate without saying a word. Yeah, and this is a very, I think, showing moment when we can be play appassionato yet play it sotto voce. Don't try to solve. Yeah, let them be busy. They'll be busy. You are in your own world. Same place.
two bars. Don't deviate. To find expressivity more in the right hand rather than left. Yeah, I wouldn't maybe give so much activity in vibrato. It's too for my taste. It's too alive, too young. Yeah, beautiful. It's this moment. Rostropovich used to say that there are two ways of making music. One is taking the music and bringing it to people and saying, look, listen how great it is. Or there is a way of saying, come and see how great it is. I think this is the moment when you invite them. Yeah, there is no need, it is so, you agree, this is an amazing moment in the movie. But I think it's the moment when you invite them to join. Yeah, you don't need to push it to them. Last time in the talk.
but it's endless in terms of finding meaning in this music. I encourage you, one thing to do is to really carefully pay attention to what he writes. Yeah, I don't know what is right and what is wrong, but I know that when you pronounce sforzando in one way, I would expect it to be pronounced in at least similar way the next time around. The way the first time you pronounce an accent in whichever way you do it, I would like it to be the same next time. Yeah, and he does build phrases this way. So I think it's important. Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for a very receptive session. You've done beautiful work. Of course, I would like to thank our guest artist, Vadim Gluzman, for such a wonderful session. I didn't want to stop because it was a joy to see him to be so involved in such a kind manner, and even without, imposing his beautiful sound on the instrument, but it was so descriptive, and it was, I think, important for all of us to remember that we have to really treat composer text and all the remarks and all the indications with all the respect, and especially in this music we can find so much details and nuances, and it was wonderful that you really pointed out the importance and difference in interpretation of those very small details, which makes such a great difference. And within this hour we could all feel and see how those details are make this enormous difference. And the music sometimes depends on how we treat small details and approach the character and dynamic and make a phrasing. But in this particular music, it's I think our role is really to pay attention to those details and to be able to respect every single nuance, and it already makes such a great difference. And your demonstration and your session just really remind all of us how it's important, and in a way it's very simple because we really need to just pay attention and respect to the composer.
Yeah. Well, you remember David Walter Jr., he was a double bass teacher. I took chamber music with him. He would always say the same thing: disregard the composer, but first give him a chance. I do think we owe it to them. I mean, the Schubert can come here and say, what are you doing? Yeah, we are the representatives in a way. I think it's our responsibility.
So I think we started a very good tradition. You were one of the first guest artists last year of the Dorothy DeLay MasterClass series on Zoom, and we all ought to being part of Dorothy DeLay Studios. We met during that time. I'm sure there are many stories we can share with students and the audience. We don't have much time for this, but at the same time, as you know, Ms.DeLay was a graduate of Michigan State University in 1937, and thanks for support of Lauren Harris, who is here, we're able to start this series, and hopefully will continue in the future. And I really would love to see you come back here and share your talent, your expertise, your ongoing process of evolving and learning. And I think it's the most attractive for me part of your personality. You're very young in spirit, and you're always looking for this inspiration through music, and definitely you're able to share it with all of us. And I thank you again for being here.